Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuhu. May I tell you something about myself? I am Ibn Khaldun. I was born on May 27, 1332 in Tunisia. I am a Tunisian Arab historiographer and historian, father of sociology, historiography, economics, and demography. I known to many from my book, The Muqaddimah. I take you. Assalamu alaykum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuhu. You have just watched a clip of me portraying Ibn Khaldun. Ibn Khaldun was an Arab scholar of Islam, social scientist, and historian. In this video, we are going to be talking about philosophy of history. Ibn Khaldun was without a doubt one of the greatest thinkers in human history. He is the most important figure in the field of history and sociology in Muslim history. He is one of those shining stars that contributed so richly to the understanding of civilization. He has been quoted by many respected people throughout history. The late ex-president Ronald Reagan even quoted him to justify his economical concept.
I studied economics in college when I was young, and I learned there about a man named Ibn Khaldun who lived 1,200 years ago in Egypt. And 1,200 years ago, he said, in the beginning of the empire, the rates were low, the tax rates were low, but the revenue was great. He said in the end of the empire, when the empire was collapsing, the rates were great and the revenue was low.
Abdul Ar-Rahman Ibn Khaldun, the 14th century Arab Muslim historiographer who is considered a pioneer father of modern sociology, historiography, economics, and demography. Historiography is the study of how to record history and how to understand it, and many consider Ibn Khaldun to be the forerunner in the field. His ancestors held many high offices in Andalusia, now southern Yemen, and had to immigrate to Tunisia later on. According to Ibn Khaldun, his father and grandfather, however, withdrew from the political life in order to pursue a mythical order. Being from a high-ranking family, he received a quality education. As a child, he was educated in many things. He learned grammar, jurisprudence, hadith, rhetoric, philology, and poetry. His Islamic education also included studying the Quran, which he memorized by heart. He spent a few years of his life at Al-Qarawin, the oldest university in the world. And interestingly to know, it is founded by a woman, Fatima al-Fihri, in Fez. Ibn Khaldun studied here and later donated original manuscript of his books into this library. At the age of 17, both was after this plague that Ibn Khaldun received his first public assignment. Ibn Khaldun spent the next 30 years in service of these many city-states. He served a high-ranking minister, secretary, administrator, ambassador, and counselor to rulers in Tunis, Fez, Bisaya, Tlemcen, and Granada. In 1375, he was tired of politics and sought isolation. He found it in the safety of a castle called Ibn Salama, what is now the town of Frenda, Algeria. There he collected his thoughts and compiled them into a series of books. The first one, which is now more famous than the series, called the Introduction or Al-Muqaddimah. While in 19th century Europe, scholars acknowledge the significance of his work and considered Ibn Khaldun as one of the greatest philosophers of the Middle Ages. In the Muqaddimah, Ibn Khaldun declares a new science, Ilm al-Umran, the science of social organization, in which he dissects the factor of the religious, political, economic, military, and cultural spheres of life. Ibn Khaldun spent his later years in Egypt and led the rest of his life in various positions, scholarly and political. When the Sultan heard of his knowledge and greatness, he appointed him as the chief Qadi or judge of Cairo in 1386 CE. Ibn Khaldun died while he was in office on March 17, 1406. That's the 25th of Ramadan 808 in Cairo at the age of 74. Ibn Khaldun introduced a new way of thinking about history, and for that his work will always live on. History is more than a record of past events. A history is an account from a perspective. A history is a narrative point of view. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaykum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.